Good morning, everybody. I wonder how you're feeling right now. Things are very unusual at the moment, aren't they? You're probably feeling a bit strange. We can't go out and see our friends. Most of you are not allowed to go to school at the moment, and we're all spending a lot more time than usual inside our homes, aren't we? Of course, that's not all bad. You might be enjoying a bit of extra time to get stuck into some really good books. There might be books that you've been waiting to read for ages, and now this is your chance to do that. Or perhaps you've been able to play some board games with your family. That's something we were doing this weekend. Some of you, I know, will have been getting creative. Perhaps you've been drawing or painting or making something, writing stories or poems. Some of you will have enjoyed getting into the garden, especially with some of the weather we've had in the last week, perhaps kicking a ball around. Hopefully you've not been driving your family crazy, saying that you're bored all day, or moaning about any of the tasks that your teacher has set for you. Maybe one or two guilty looks out there at the moment, I don't know. I also know many of you will be feeling a little bit worried at the moment, and I understand that. We've all heard so much about this virus that lots of people are catching it, and no doubt that's been on your mind a bit too. And I know from talking to you before we broke up, some of you are worried about particular people that you love. Certainly some of you will be missing your grandparents at the moment. Grandparents, of course, lots of them having to keep themselves safe, so we don't get to see them for the time being anyway. Just at the moment, things feel very uncertain and strange for everybody. It's not just you, it really is everybody at the moment. We don't know yet how long it will be before we're all able to come back together as a school and all come to school together again. We are now less than 2 weeks away from Easter Sunday, and this has actually got me thinking a little bit. I wonder if the disciples felt a bit like we're feeling now as the events of Holy Week unfolded in front of them. Can you remember the story? Things got off to what seemed like a really good, positive, exciting start, didn't they? Jesus entered Jerusalem on the donkey on Palm Sunday, didn't he? Everybody was waving, shouting, cheering. It was like a big celebrity. There were crowds of people there and everything seemed really positive. If you were one of the disciples at that point, you probably would have been very exciting or very excited and anticipating great things. But in a matter of days, all of that excitement had turned into despair. Jesus was let down. He was betrayed by one of his closest friends, one of his disciples, Judas. He was arrested. People told lies about him. He was whipped and he was beaten and he was condemned to death on a cross. I wonder how the disciples must have felt. Their friend, their leader, this Jesus, this man who they thought was going to be the biggest change that the world had ever seen, was suddenly taken away from them. They must have been very worried and uncertain. They were probably scared that they would end up in danger as well themselves. And they must have wondered what on earth was going to happen to make things better again. Some of their hopes, some of their plans, all seemed to be in ruins. But of course, we know that this wasn't the end. As we all know, God had a bigger plan. And Jesus actually came back to life, didn't he, on Easter Sunday. The disciples were a big part of God's continuing plan too. They spread the message about Christianity to many parts of the world. It's probably thanks to them and lots of others that who followed them that we know about Jesus and God's love for us today. So, although things are very strange at the moment, it's important that we keep on being positive. Look for all the good things in our situation. When I was little, my mum and dad always used to tell me to count my blessings if I was feeling down. That means count all the things that you've got going for you, all the things that are good in your life. That can be little things like the fact that you've got a bit more time to read your favourite books at the moment, or play in the garden, whatever it might be. It can also be the big blessings, the big good things like the people that you've got around you that you know love you. And not only that, but you can be a blessing to those people too. How can you do that? Keep on helping those that you live with. Maybe offer to do some jobs. Definitely tidy up after yourself. Try not to make mum and dad's life too difficult, especially if they're trying to work from home at the moment. If we were at school now, I'd suggest that we all sing This Little Light of Mine, because at times like this, it's really important, isn't it, that we keep on shining. So see if you can make a positive difference to those around you, help brighten up someone's day. See if you can do that every day. It might be that you can do this by doing a job around the house, getting on with your schoolwork without being asked, or by phoning or FaceTiming or writing a card or a letter for somebody that you're not able to see at the moment, especially if it's somebody that's stuck at home on their own and somebody that might be really missing you. Right, we're going to finish now with a prayer from our brand new school book of prayers, okay, which I've got a draft copy of here. The one I've chosen for us today is all about our school value of teamwork. At the moment, it's really important, isn't it, that we work together as a team. The whole country working together as a team. Doctors, nurses, NHS staff, all the other key workers playing their parts in helping us to get through this tough time. And all of us can play our parts as well, by following the instructions, things like washing our hands, staying in, those sorts of things, but also by letting our lights shine around us and making a difference to the people that we see, or sometimes the people that we're not seeing as well. Okay, so it's thank you to William in year 4 for this lovely prayer. Dear Lord, please help everyone to get along with one another and to always show understanding and care towards others. Lord, please help everybody to realise that if we work together as one, we can achieve great things as part of God's great team. Please help us remember that we are all God's children and we should treat everyone as equals. We thank you, Lord, for our school, for all of our friends, teachers and family, and ask that you will always watch over us. We are thankful to you, Lord, that we are blessed to have a sense of belonging and be part of the St Mary and St Margaret's school team. Amen. Well done, William. Okay, keep safe, have a good week, God bless you all.